All right, today's lesson is going to take a look at another physics object. This time it's the fizz ball socket, which creates uh, like a 360-degree universal joint that we can attach objects with. So we're going to do 3 samples, just like yesterday, of hanging objects. And so like the hinge, these objects require an external source of energy to get them moving. And then once they're moving, they can swing around. So we're going to do 3 examples once I show you how to do it. And it'll be very similar to yesterday because it uses the same entity type. So it uses a prop physics override, or a fizz box, which is what we did yesterday. So if you remember from yesterday, we had our prop physics, which was an object on the info tab that said physics by default. So this is a physics prop. It can be a prop physics with no adjustments or anything like that. Then we had our little gate thing right here. So if we look at the world model for that, under the info tab, you'll notice that physics is not checked. So for this object, what that means is it has to be a prop physics override, because we're overriding the settings for this prop and to allow physics to be enabled on the prop. And then our third sample from yesterday was a block tool. And once we created the block, we right-clicked on it, we selected tie to entity, and we made it into a function fizz box. So once we did that, this block was now physics enabled, and it could also swing or attach to the hinge. So those 3 examples, a physics prop, a physics override, and a fizz box, those 3 things we're also going to do with this physics ball socket. So I'm not going to go through each one of these because we did it yesterday. I'm simply going to show you how the attachment is made, and then I'm going to have you make some samples. Now the thing is, the ball socket here, what it does is you drop it in. So you go to your entity tool and you type in fizz ball socket, and we'll go ahead and put it right there. I'm going to name it. So I'll call this one socket 3. And then pretty much all you need to do is, just like with the hinge, we have 2 entities here. And we're going to attach an entity to this. So it doesn't matter which position you put it in. By habit, I always put it in the second position because I just assume that this is the object that I'm attaching to. So, but it doesn't matter. You can put it in position 1 or 2. If you only fill in one of these, the object automatically attaches to this socket right here. Okay? There's nothing on the flags that we need to work with right now. Then the second part of it is to just simply attach the object. So right here I've got a Func Fizz box. This is a little pole that I made, and if we look at the ball socket, this guy right here, his name is Fizz Arm. He's a function fizz box. So this is just a block tool that I attached to the physics ball socket. Entity is called Fizz Arm. That's the name of this thing right here that's attached. And if we go into the game, you'll be able to see what it does. So there's that attachment right there. And if I run up to it, so you'll notice that this thing can swing in any direction. I can bump it from any direction and it swings side to side, it'll swing front to back. It's a universal joint, so it'll swing in any direction. So one of the things we're going to add to our maps is wind. And so if you've got objects hanging, they can get blown in the wind. And then the same thing with other different types of objects. So here I've got, this is a prop physics override. And then at the bottom of it, I've got a prop dynamic override parented to it to make it, kind of attach to it and swing. Now, the dynamic override gives me a little bit of a grief sometimes, and it's just, objects fighting with the physics in the game. But a single object works great. I've seen this done a lot with lights that hang from the ceiling, things like that. So for your lesson today, we're going to do the fizz ball socket. We're going to do 3 of them, so they're going to be hanging. And I want you to do a prop physics override, as well as a function fizz box or a func fizz box. Okay, so you're going to have 3 hanging objects, and you're going to have a function fizz box, you're going to have a prop physics, and a prop physics override. When you put these together, the connection is pretty much wherever this center of this ball socket is where the attachment point is going to be. So if you look at this right here, this is where the attachment is. This will keep its relative distance to that. You want to make sure that the object is not embedded into any other solid world geometry. If it does, that creates friction, and it'll also cause it to kind of glitch when it swings. So we want to make sure that this object is free and clear of this. You can, keep it a block or 2 away. The player probably won't notice it, especially if it's higher up in the sky. All right? So your examples today, 3 of these physics ball sockets, 1 prop physics, 1 prop physics override, 1 func fizz box.